See, the number one secret to fix your finances is to pay your bills on time. That's the number one secret. And that ain't a secret, right? Just pay your bills on time, okay? But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, sometimes that's a little bit more difficult. So the reason why we want to focus on what we're doing here in My Iconz is because My Iconz not only is going to teach you how to fix and repair your credit, it's going to show you how to make some money. It's going to show you how to make some money, all right? So let's talk about the whole score. Say the whole score.
Whole score.
All right, so Mr. Stokes talks about, I was going to show you today why our competitors, and when I say the competitors, the credit repair industry, why we have something that's much, much more superior than what they have. And here's the reason why. Your credit score is made up of 5 different factors that equal 100%. Here's what the industry does. Payment history is worth 35%. That's where the industry focuses. They focus on the 35%. Payment history is all the negatives that are on your credit report. So they focus on getting negatives removed off of your credit.
So you're saying that's the credit repair people?
That's the credit repair people. That's the Lexington Law. Y'all ever heard of Lexington Law? That's those guys, right? And they ain't got no lawyers in there, right? They just some folks. They got maybe one lawyer and everybody else just regular folks in there sending off letters.
Yep.
Right? So they focus all of their efforts right here on the payment history. And don't get me wrong, we want to focus our effort on payment history. But what is payment history? It's 4 letters. It's 4 letters. And those letters are in your back office. All payment history is you've got to prove, first of all, that the debt is mine. And then once you say that you prove that the debt is mine, I'm going to send you a second letter that's going to say, I need you to verify and validate that the debt is mine. Who did you talk to? When did you talk to them? What's the information that you got? And if they can't provide you with that information, then you send a third letter that says, by law, you're supposed to remove this. If they don't remove it, then you send a 4th letter, and the 4th letter says, I intend to litigate if you don't apply the law. Do what you're supposed to do by the law. It's just 4 letters. It's just 4 letters. It's just 4 letters. Here's what I saw. I saw a report that said 79% of people that dispute their debts or their credit, they get things removed off their credit. 79% that dispute.
So you said after what were the last 2 after verify your debt?
You gotta first verify that is my
Prove
debt.
the debt is mine.
Right?
Then you gotta verify it.
Then you gotta verify it. You gotta tell me who you talk to. You see, this is the credit bureaus. This is TransUnion, Equifax. Equifax says that you were late on your credit card statement. And then you say, well, is it my credit card statement? Equifax says, we verify that it is yours. They'll send you a letter back. So then you go to Equifax and you say, well, I need to know who you talked to. What day did you talk to them? What did they say? Because you have that right for them to validate that they actually did that. Because most of the time, they're not even going back to the creditor to say anything. It's a machine. Right? So you have to go through the 4-letter process. That's all that Lexington Law is actually doing. We have the letters.
I agree.
Right? Now, each letter may be typed up differently, but it's 4 letters. So we want to focus on this payment history and get some of the negatives removed. Now, here's what I see a lot of people talk about. We're going to get all your negatives removed. That's probably not true. The reality is we get some things removed off your credit report. If 79% of the people that dispute their credit are getting things removed, and you got 10 things on your credit report that need to be removed, chances are, by going through our process, you're going to get some stuff removed. Now, Julian said you're going to get everything removed. I said you're going to get some things removed. But that's only 35% of your score. So while you're removing those things, the next piece that we're going to do is we're going to tackle credit utilization. Now, this is the piece that the industry doesn't tackle. They don't deal with credit utilization. They don't show you how to get out of debt. That's what credit utilization is really all about. You got a $1,000 credit card, and you got $1,010 that you owe. So you way over credit utilization, right? What we're doing in My Iconz is we're showing you how to take some of this income, how to adjust your W-4, start lowering your debt. Well, how do I do that? If I'm living paycheck to paycheck. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, what do? We do income shifting. We show you how to adjust and correct your W-4. Get some cash back into your pocket, take that cash and start paying down on your debt. Does Lexington Law do that for you?
Nope.
Does any of the credit repair companies tell you how to pay down your debt? No. Well, what if I want to do it a little bit faster? Get in this business, start showing people how to income shift, start making some of that extra income. You saw the money that Mr. Stokes showed you just earlier today in compensation. Take some of that compensation money, now apply it to your debt. Make that debt go down a lot faster. Listen, guys, what's the difference between payment history and credit utilization? 5%. See, payment history is 35%. The amount of debt that you have is 30%. So it must mean that if I start lowering my debt, that my credit score is going to dramatically increase fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yep.
But all the other credit repair companies do is they focus on this 35%. What we're telling you is we're going to focus on this, and we're going to focus on this. That's 65% of your score. Half of your score is based on these two principles alone. But they got you thinking that credit repair is a mystery. It's not a mystery. My Iconz snatched the covers off and said credit repair is pretty easy. It's real easy. When you have the information, you know what you need to be doing. There's nothing mysterious about it. The reason why they made it a mystery is so they could charge you $600 to send out 4 letters. All right. So we're going to lower our debt with credit utilization. The next factor is credit history. Length of credit. It's not a whole lot I can do with length of credit. But we have talked about getting authorized users, right? So I'll give you an example. I got some college-age kids in my household. They have no credit. There's about 1% of the population that have no credit. They don't have a credit score at all. That's usually 18-year-old kids coming out of high school, going to college. They have no credit. So what did I do? I made them an authorized user on my credit card. I got a credit card that I had for over 12 years. Capital One. I didn't have to go ask anybody. I just logged into my Capital One back office, and it says, do you want to add an authorized user? I added my kids as an authorized user. They sent 2 credit cards in the mail with my kids' names on it. I stood over the trash can and I cut those credit cards off. See, they don't have to use my card. They don't have to have access to my card. All they want is my credit. Right. So now, because I have 12 years of good credit history with that credit card, it automatically transferred over to my children. So now my children have credit history, 12 years of credit card history because of me. So if you got a grandma, if you got a cousin, if you got somebody with some good credit, say, listen, I don't want a credit card from you, just put me on as an authorized user. Doesn't cost you anything. In fact, anybody ever heard of trade lines? Mm-hmm. Do you know what a trade line is?
No. Authorized user.
It's an authorized user. You see how they make it sound all fancy? I'm going to get a trade line?
For $1,000.
For $1,000. Here's what happens. There are companies that go out and find people like me. They got a credit card that I've had for 12 years. Good payment history. And they say, June, we'll give you $200 if you'll add this person to your trade line, as an authorized user. And I add them as an authorized user for about 90 days. I add them as an authorized user. Now their credit jumps up. They get what they want, what they were trying to get in that 90-day period, and then I remove them in 90 days. It's an authorized user. That's all a trade line is. There are companies that sell trade lines, like Mr. Stokes says, for $1,000.
Absolutely.
Yep. Called lease my credit.
Lease my credit.
There you go.
Somebody know. Somebody know. You leasing your credit.
Y'all need some?
That's right. That's all it is. So we show you how to improve your credit history. How about new credit? Somebody says, well, I can't get any credit because my credit's already bad. We show you different companies that will allow you to get some credit. One company that's really great is called Prosper. What they do is they're a bank. They actually set up a CD for you. They freeze the CD, so you never get access to the money, but then you have to pay on the CD. And they report those payments as payments on a loan. And as soon as you pay the CD off, they release it and the money is yours. So they have no risk in losing the money. So no matter how bad your credit is, you're not really a risk to them because they froze the CD. And you don't have access to it until you pay it off. So that's a great way for you to start improving and getting new credit. They don't teach you that. Final thing is the credit mix. Credit mix just says that I need to have some revolving debt. I need to have some installment debt. Revolving debt is like credit cards. Installment debt is like car loans. Well, if you start working on all of these things here, you'll begin to start getting some of this. So we focus on 100% of the credit score instead of 35%. That's what makes us different. We snatched back the covers on the mystery of credit repair. It's not a mystery. FICO already told us how they gauge the credit score. So there is no mystery. Is everybody okay with that? Yes. I need you to walk away understanding that there is no mystery in credit repair. Credit repair is easy. It's 5 different points. It's these points right here. Okay? All right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
When you do the dispute, are you disputing just with the credit agencies? I mean, with Experian, or are you actually disputing with the actual creditor?
Okay. Great question. So the question is, am I disputing with the 3 credit bureaus, or am I disputing with the credit card company? Okay? Who is reporting the information?
The creditor.
So that's what I'm fighting with.
So they don't have to say anything to the creditor at all.
That's their job.
No.
That's
You see, the person that created my credit score was Experian.
right.
My credit card company did not create my credit score. Experian created my credit score.
Okay.
So I'm fighting with Experian. Prove that that's mine.
Okay. And then Experian.
Now Experian has to do the lead work to go to the other places to verify that it's me. That's not my job. My job is to fight with Experian and let Experian go and dispute with my creditors, find out what my creditors are doing.
So sometimes when they are removed and the creditor reports it again, how do you dispute that again?
So now that it has been removed, why was it removed?
Because I sent 4 letters.
You sent 4 letters, they couldn't prove it, right? It shows back up. I'm really excited if it gets removed and then shows back up.
Okay. Why?
Because you didn't prove it the first time. How are you going to prove it the second time?
How does that work with student loan debt?
Student loan debt is a little bit different. Sally Mae got somebody in her back pocket. It's hard to get rid of student loan debt, although I've heard people that said that they have gotten rid of student loan debt if the proper paperwork hasn't been documented. So this is all about documentation when you start getting negative items removed off of your credit. Here's what I tell people. Whether it's student loans, bankruptcies, whatever it is, just go through the 4 letters like I taught you. Just do the 4 letters. I don't care if it's student loans. I don't care if it's child support. I don't care what it is. Do the 4 letters like I teach you how to do it. Too many people asking so many questions before they actually go through the process. Go through the process. Go through the process. Let's stop talking about it and let's start doing it. I'm going to start taking 2 more and we're going to go.
The other, just FYI, is that you have to do it for each one of the credit bureaus. You can't expect 1 letter to cover all 3. If there's 3 credit bureaus, you got to send letters to all 3 of them, not just one, because they're all different companies.
And we cover that in the smart credit system.
Yeah.
You got something?
I just had a comment on the student loan. There's ways to get it off, but also, like he said, run the system because just about everybody has inaccurate or erroneous information, whether it's a student loan, whatever, on their report, and you could possibly get it off.
Right. So our goal is to run through the first run through is just send the letters. Just send the letters. Because you're trying to fight something that you might not have to fight. Just send the letters. Go through the process and see what comes off. And then when you get to the fourth letter and you got some stuff that's not coming off, then you got some other choices at that point. Okay? If it's wrong and inaccurate. If it's right and they've been able to prove that it's yours, then we're going to go and take care of the other items on our credit report.
Yes.
It's not important that you get everything off your credit score.
Right.
Off your credit report. All right? Let's move on. All right, so we got the answers here. We got income shifting strategy. Where we're going to get the money to start reducing our credit utilization. We get that through our W-4 adjustment. Do you now see how we start introducing my Econ? We start off with our credit repair, but we start introducing my Econ because now I'm going to show you how to minimize your credit utilization through the W-4 adjustment. Get some cash back, start paying down your debt. We also have minimize expenses. We got a calculator back there for that. We've got debt elimination software. Again, the software is going to tell you which debts to start paying off. And then finally, business income. See, these things here are going to give you the income so that you can eliminate the debt. That's the difference. You need to understand the difference of what we do. We've got income shifting strategies that will help you minimize your debt, which is 30% of your credit score. No one else in the industry can show you how to get rid of your debt. All right? All right, let's go on. All right, so what's our unique selling position? What are we offering? What do we do? In your back office, there's 26 do-it-yourself videos. Now, somebody says, well, I don't want to do it myself. I want to have somebody do it for me. Well, here's why we tell you to do it yourself. Because if you get somebody to do it for you, what can they do for you? All they can do is the first piece, which is the 35%. All they can do is send out letters for you. They can't do any of the other stuff. This is all they can do. This is all Lexington Law can do for you.
That's your age right there.
That's it.
Right.
But they can't do the rest of it. We can. That's the difference. That's your selling proposition. When you're talking to people, they want to tell you, well, I'm going to go to Lexington Law. Okay, they're only going to take care of this. They're not going to take care of any of this.
And it costs more.
And it costs more. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, guess what? You get your credit fixed, and you'll need to get it fixed in 2 years again.
Because you went back.
Because you're still broke.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is put some money in your pocket so you never have to go back into that situation again.
Right.
So that you can pay your bills on time. All right? Let's go ahead. 4 rounds of dispute letters. We got credit sources that you can reestablish your credit. We've got the income shifting strategy. We've got our minimized expense calculator. All of these things are in the smart credit system. Okay? All of them. You got the debt elimination software. It's inside of the smart credit system, but it's also synced up to the debt elimination calculator inside of your income shifting membership. They sync up together. All right? All right. So, is this the right type of business? 43.4 million people in the United States have bad credit. Okay? It's a $3 billion industry in 2018. It has mass appeal, and we focus on one particular product. Now, I want, because I was taking some notes here when Mr. Stokes was talking. When people start talking about you in the industry, that means that you're starting to hit them. Do you realize that there are whole industries that really rely on bad credit? Payday loan centers. Their whole industry is based on bad credit. Rent-A-Center. Title Pond. Buy here, pay here lots. Do you think they want you to help people get their credit fixed? So they have the money to focus on not educating people. They don't want us to educate people on how to fix their credit. if you can get better credit, and instead of going down to the buy here, pay here lot, you can go to a reputable dealer. Guess where you're going? You're going to the reputable dealer. There is nobody buying a car from the buy here, pay here lot just because they just think they want to buy it from the buy here, pay here lot. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. If you need a ride and that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. What I'm telling you is that there are millions of people who are in that situation that we can help.
Absolutely.
All right? All right. Mass appeal. All right, so here's the last thing I want to say. I'm going to write this down. Mr. Stokes did know some good stuff. Mr. Stokes was teaching credit. He didn't even know it. All right? Getting a great credit score is important. I see everybody on Facebook focus on 750. 750. Y'all seen it?
Yeah.
Show you how to get to 750 and all that good stuff. I really can't tell people how to get to 750. All I can say is I'm going to show you how to improve your credit. Right? Realistically. But here's what I need you to understand. Even if I don't get them to 750, if I get somebody to a 680 and they can go buy them a house. Now we talked about the difference between 3% and a 7% loan. Right?
Absolutely.
Let's say that they got a 7% loan. Is that better
Yes.
than renting?
Yes. By far.
Because see, they're going to have to stay somewhere anyway.
Right.
And if they got a 7% loan, a mortgage loan, that means that they got a house that's building equity. That's better than them renting when they couldn't get a loan at all.
Absolutely.
And if they keep working on their credit, guess what they can do? Refinance.
Absolutely. There it is.
So I'm not so worried about the 750 to 800 credit score. I want to make sure that I get them to a point where they can be owners, where they can start building equity. That's what financial prosperity is all about. And as they continue to learn, they'll get a chance to refinance at a lower interest rate.
When would be a good time to refinance? Like, should you wait after the first few years, 2 years, or what?
Depends on your credit score, and depends on the interest rate that you can get and what it's going to cost you to refinance. So that's a technical question that's a little bit longer. Catch me off on the side, and I can talk to you about that. Okay? But it depends on multiple factors. Depends on what the interest rate is going to be, what you're currently paying. Depends on your current credit score, and what kind of money you're going to be able to save if you do refinance. Because oftentimes there's a little bit of upfront money to refinance. But is that going to save you money in the long term? That's what you want to be looking at. All right? Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
How does this system help with remove the inquiries in your credit?
We've got a letter it's a letter.
Oh, really?
Just inquiry letter. You just say, look, send me the proof that I inquired or that I tried to get this loan. Okay?
What's the average turnaround time for the credit bureau to respond to your letter?
30 days. It's in the credit system.
Somebody ain't been watching their video.
Right. These are all questions that's in the system.
Monitoring, I know it's 23 for 6 months and then 34, I believe, for 12 months. How important is it for the monitoring?
Great question. So one of the things that we did is we no longer sell the 12-month monitoring. You can only buy 6-month monitoring, okay? So, and there's CV on that. The monitoring is there so that as you're working and fixing your credit, you can see the results that's happening. Now, here's what we're going to tell you. We have the lowest credit monitoring fee in the industry. I think it's $23 for 6 months. But if you don't want to use that, you can go to Credit Karma. You can go to Credit Sesame. There's a lot of other credit companies out there that will do monitoring.
There's no CV though.
There's no CV on those, right? I like the way you think. There's no CV on it. Plus, many of those places, they only update your score every 30 days. Like my bank, I bank at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo shows me my credit score, but it's every 90 days at Wells Fargo. I don't have to pay for it, but it takes me 90 days to see how well my credit has improved. We believe that if you're working and fixing your credit, you want to see the results of what's happening in your credit report. Okay? Great question. See, any other questions? All right. Any other questions? So ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. We show people how to improve their credit score. We show them how to eliminate debt. And we've got the best product in the industry. And I don't say that just to be saying it. We have the very best product in the industry because we cover 100% of the credit score and how to improve your credit. Everyone else focuses on removing the negatives. That's important. But there's another 65% of your score that no one else is tackling except us. And we're less expensive. And if they get in business, they can make money. And they can lower their taxes by being in business. We got the best thing going right now. All right? So without any further ado, I'm going to bring Mr. Stokes back up to the stage.